Hi guys, welcome to another mixing random things into putty, and these are from Putty. They are therapy putties and I didn't know that they can be used for that, so I thought that was interesting. It's quite helpful for people with carpal tunnel, for example. They have different levels of firmness, and this bright neon green one has a medium level of that. So of course this is pretty firm. It does take a bit of effort to stretch it. By the way, I absolutely love the color. It's just like a bright highlighter and you can just spot it from a mile away. What I'm going to be mixing into this one is hand sanitizer. Now, it has alcohol, so I'm gonna assume that it's going to soften it or might possibly melt it. This was a little bit difficult to mix in just because hand sanitizer is slippery and you have to squish it in there. It did made my hands really messy, like some of the putty came off, but not to worry because I was able to clean my hands up by just cleaning it with the putty, just like how you can clean your hands with slime, like you can clean slime on your hands with slime. So despite being quite messy, it did soften the putty up a bit, so I would say the hand sanitizer works great. Here we have a black one from the same brand, and by the way, most of these are about $5 to $6, so not that pricey at all. And this one has the strongest level of firmness, and I really wanted to get this one because I wanted to see if I could melt it or soften it. And this is tough, really tough. Takes so much effort, every ounce of my bone to stretch it. It's a hard, solid rock. I'm going to be adding deodorant to this. Now this is really random, more random than hand sanitizer in my opinion, and I know that this is known for melting down slimes really quickly. Again, this was quite difficult to mix in, but it was easier than the hand sanitizer just because it's not as slippery. To my surprise, it actually really melted down quite a bit to the point where I couldn't put it back together. You see how stringy it is? I was surprised because considering how tough this was, I didn't think that a little bit of deodorant could do that. I really wanted to be back together, but I couldn't even after letting it sit. This is what happened, and it just wouldn't really be back to normal again. So I do not suggest adding deodorant to your putties. Now we're moving on to another brand of therapy putties called Vive, and this came in a 4-piece set, a total of 12 ounces, so each one is 3 ounces. And if you wanted to calculate how much each would cost, it would be about $3.50 each. So they also have different levels of firmness, and it came with a booklet that has different hand gestures for hand therapy, so I thought that was fascinating. I'm going to be testing the top 2 firmest putties. So this purple one is the strongest. For some reason, I really like when slimes or putties are molded into the shape of a container, and when you take them out, it stays like that. It's just so satisfying to me. So this was really hard to stretch, but I expected that. This one was not as tough as the black one, which was also the firmest. I will be mixing mouthwash into this. So how I decided to pick this was because hand sanitizer has alcohol and this brand of mouthwash has alcohol, I wanted to see if this would soften it. So of course, mixing liquid into putties, it's not going to mix in. You kind of have to like rub it in, as in like you're cleaning it with the putty. I did have to add quite a bit of the mouthwash because it wasn't doing anything. I even let the putty sit in the mouthwash for about 10 minutes to let it soak it all in. So the mouthwash actually did absolutely nothing to the putty at all. It just stayed the same. So don't add mouthwash. Last but not least, this is the second firmest putty in the set. This one was way easier to play with, and this one actually had a matte texture similar to butter slime. I'm going to be mixing aloe vera gel into this, and this one has no fragrance dyes, no alcohol, so really interested to see how this would react with the putty. After adding it a couple of times, it softened the putty really well. Like, this is so nice to play with. I can squish it with one hand with ease. So this was probably my favorite thing to add to putty because it wasn't messy at all. I think this was the best ingredient of the entire video. And that's it to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.